Hi everybody, it's Sally, also known as Studio Rat, because, well, if you saw my studio, you'd know why I call it that. Haha. So anyway, I've been having so much fun making minis. I love this size, working with this size of journal, and I've made a bunch of them, so I think it's time for me to move on to something else. But I just want to mention Donna again at Past and Pages for originally inspiring me to make these. Although it's a size I've made many times, I like this size because it is basically just a piece of paper. It's like a half page. So a half page just fits in there perfectly. I've been having fun playing with fabric, and I actually organized all my fabric, so I found a lot more that I kind of forgot I had. So I noticed it looks kind of like I'm hung up on green here, but I also have other colors, which I'm going to show you right now. So nothing is in these yet. These are blank, but they're ready to be used later on. I mean, this is just fabric collage here, stitched down. I usually stitch it to a book page, and I'll show you some over here. So yeah, so stitch it onto a book page. Well, first I kind of glue it lightly, then I stitch around it, then I attach it to a file folder cover. This one hasn't been stitched yet, but basically I put some fabric on the inside, and it makes a really pretty colorful journal. So this one I had fun getting into the red. This one is more pink, and this is the inside of this. This is some old fabric. I think it was upholstery fabric. It's very worn but thick, so really like this material. Love the pale color. And this one here, more of a blue with a blue doily here, and some of my favorite fabrics. And then this one has, inside is blue, which was from a little kid's pair of like overalls, the kind with the little snaps so you could change diapers. So I liked the fabric on them. I found them at an estate sale. They were really cheap, and so I just kind of bought them for the fabric. But I might do something with those suspender straps. I haven't decided yet. So then I have a bunch more that I made that are just ready to be attached to a cover. So here we have this will be a smaller one, and mostly blues in this one. So you can see that I just attached it to some paper, something a little sturdier than just a regular sheet of paper. This one in the paler blues, I like how that came out, and I put a clothing tag there, some embroidery, just a nice assortment. And another pinkish one. Love the crocheted pink doily there. Another doily here that had some rust stains on it. Some embroidery in the middle, just to make it interesting. Here's another green one. Some crocheted, I believe that was from a pot holder. And some really old fabrics here. A piece of a tablecloth. Some quilt top pieces here and there. And this one is kind of mostly white. Has a doily here. This is tatting here. Another doily. Some eyelet. So then, so this one I actually put two book pages glued together, which made a pretty good base for this. So yeah, this was a tea towel, and this was part of that tea towel also. I love this crochet piece there. And another blue one with some blue doily here and here, and just a clothing label. Lots of different pieces of, this one's kind of a little bit more colorful. So then actually, while I had all of the fabric out, I did make a few more fabric strips. because these are a lot of fun to make. I just stitched onto book page. Okay, oh, and here's one more. Okay, so let's take a look at these. So as you can see, I did do green, but I could do other colors too, and I will later on. So this was the one I made a while back. It was very grungy in the in Donna's style from Past and Pages. Some catalog reproduction picture on the back, and then the way I folded it, it made a pocket here for a tag. And so here we have a little, I think that's a Tim Holtz picture there. Just a fabric collage. Well, actually fabric and paper. Strip of fabric on the spine and another pocket in the back. And let's just flip through it and I'll show you the pocket. So writing space here. This is a napkin collage on a book page. Some little bit of fabric sewn on there. And so here I kind of folded up the bottom to make a pocket and then added a little bit of stitched on fabric there and a tag. So here we have just assorted book pages. This is actually an end paper from a book. Map I tea stained. Lots of tea stained paper. I think this is a pocket here. Yeah, for this vintage car picture. Glassine bag with a little altered card there. Tab this is from an old quilt. That's from that Sears catalog. Just taped down with some yellowed tape. And actually this is a pocket too. Something could go in there. But I forgot to put something in there. Maybe I will later. Another little altered journal card. And yeah, here's a pocket here. Magazine picture there. And a book page with some old houses on it. A belly band here with a photo. There's some more of that napkin collage and a little stack of papers here for just like a little notepad. And then a tag in this pocket. Okay, so that's one of them. And so then the next one I made was this one. This is a piece of fabric that I stitched, oh my goodness, several months ago. And I spent a lot of time. This is all stitched with gold thread in my sewing machine. Just row on top of row. I kind of, and then just kind of pieced the fabric together with lots and lots of stitching. Here's all the threads. I don't like to leave them too long. So I thought, oh, I was going to use it as the cover of a larger journal, but didn't really like the way it looked, and I set it aside, so I thought I'll just use it on this one of these little minis, and I like how it came out. So this one's a little bit different style. It has folded in sides like this and a pocket here. Excuse me. This is one of my clusters. And oh, I got this new book. It's just amazing, and I've already kind of ripped it apart. It's this book. It's called Wildflowers of Britain, month by month, and just look at these pages. And they're just the perfect size for like a mini journal like this. Every page has pictures on both sides. So all you have to do is just like, I'm just trimming off this part and kind of inking around the pictures. And look at these, aren't they beautiful? Really kind of reminds me of Edith Holden books. Just gorgeous illustrations of flowers. So if you like flowers, this would be a great one to get. It's called Wildflowers of Britain, month by month, and I got this on Amazon, I believe. It wasn't that expensive either. The author is Margaret Erskine Wilson. So anyway, so that's this page. And as you can see, I just trimmed it, and then, just where it was white, I inked it. I thought it came out looking great. So tea stain paper with a stamp design on there. I did, actually this is coffee dyed paper, which I normally don't do coffee. I don't really care for the smell, but it does eventually kind of go away. But, when you double dye it, you get these interesting little patterns. So what I did was I just put some, in a squeeze bottle, some extra coffee, and after I'd already dyed it, I squirted on little bits here and there, and I love that, how it makes those watermarks. So here's some more of that napkin collage on a book page. Some craft paper with the fabric ruffle. And so this is actually just kind of a little tuck too. From a children's book. So this is some of the paint masking paper that comes on a roll. I like that paper. And I just don't like that it's so curly, so I do something to dampen it a little, even if I just mist it with a little water. But this one I actually used some spray inks. And then this paper clip is just holding down a tag I made. Shows coat measurements or measurements for a man's suit. This was actually from a package of needles. And tea-stained scrapbook paper. So here is a vintage playing card. This flips out. There's another one of those car advertisements. And I like this photo of this man standing in front of his car. So it kind of looks like that kind of car. I'm not sure what kind of car it is. And this, I'm not sure. I think this came from a book. I can't remember where I got that, but it was in my little pile of ephemera, so I just stuck it in here. Tea-stained book page. It's one of my clusters, it was a big one. I turned it into a pocket for a tag. Some ruffled paper here, and I put these little tassels at the end of the strings here. So this is another one of my clusters, which I've used as a tuck spot. That's a Tim Holtz tag. I like these because they're actually printed on both sides, which is nice. You don't have to worry about one side being white. Some fussy cut from a old book. This is it's just kind of like a little gift card, I think. And I've had these for a long time. And a little tag I made with some of my paper cloth. Tab here. A new stamp I got. This one here. So you could put, it has lots of stuff you can change and make it say all kinds of numbery things. It's pretty cool. Numbery things. And a little stack of papers with a fabric flip. And collage paper tag. There's one of my little clusters. And just some extra scraps of paper in here for writing. And this flips out. A picture of New Mexico. This is like a little gift. This is a little gift tag. Got a bunch of these at an antique shop. And on this side is a butterfly thing I printed. And a little altered Rolodex card here in the back. And I did line the inside with it's actually like it was a tablecloth. I don't know if you could see the design in there. It's kind of got a floral design. It's kind of hard to see unless you look closely. So there's that one. And sometimes I like to add a few beads to the elastic. So then here's the last one. This is the one I just finished this morning. It also has some porcelain beads on there. I like these beads with the Chinese letters on it. And this one has little flowers on it. And has a page from the Sears replica catalog on the back, and one of my fabric collages on the front. Like, for example, so this was like one of the small ones. So, and they just fit perfectly on here. I think they make a great cover. So this has a pocket here and a tag I made. Some kind of metallic-y paper here, I think with some packaging. And a button here to hold the elastic. Another page from that neat flower book. Love it. This is a rubber stamp here on some tea-stained or coffee-dyed paper. And then I did do some double dyeing. Scrapbook paper. So I turned one of my clusters into a pocket. A rook card. Napkin collage. Little red hen. Piece of a book page. I just got these new stamps. I love these stamps. I ordered them from AliExpress. So there's this one with the ferns. And this one has mushrooms. And this one has butterflies. They're pretty cheap. And they're the nice cling stamps. The images didn't stamp really good at first. They didn't stamp that well. I took my sanding block and just kind of went over it a bit, just sort of, smooth it down a little bit, and it worked much better after that. So that's a little tip, to use one of these to kind of, if you have some clear stamps or, because this isn't really rubber here. This is some kind of plasticky stuff. But it does have that nice cushiony top to it, like a cling stamp, and I guess I should peel these off, but I haven't done that yet. Anyway, yeah, so now it stamps really well. This is a piece of a book page. Oh, so this is a corner tuck. I just glued it in, and this is the tag I was going to put in it. I was waiting for the glue to dry, and it's dry now. So I got this paper with some of these weird sort of prints on them. Got a bunch of them. I think they were from some kind of art gallery. And I tea stained them, and I like them now. But once they're tea stained, they really kind of makes them look real nice and vintagey. So here's one of the stamps that I just showed you, and this time I stamped it on some tea bag. And once you glue it on to something like this, you know, it really shows up. This is the mushroom one. So one of those vintage playing cards. And an old photo. Some Tim Holtz ephemera. Another book page. A jolly old pig. Love the colored illustrations in that book. An altered Rolodex card, and on this card it's a game my sister found someplace. It's just there's really basically just a deck of cards, but there's like Jethro and Granny and Ellie Mae. It's kind of a cute little card game. Beverly Hillbillies, for those who aren't familiar with them. It's another one of the car advertisements. And I made that one a flip out. Craft paper. One of my little clusters that I turned into a tuck spot for some paper here it's just writing paper. I kind of like the frog there. That's avocado dyed. Scrapbook paper. Here's the rest of that picture from the art gallery. Some bodybuilder guy. So this is one of my snippet strips, and I used it as a belly band for this book page journaling card. This is a picture from a book of some kind of 1950s or 60s skiing clothes and then 1900s skating costume. Oh yeah, it says, so these are 1954. And I just turned it into a little booklet. Extra writing space there with some green stamps. There's the rest of the flower page. And a tag in the back. Well, actually, I would call this a journaling card. It's collaged. It's got writing space on the back. Okay, so that's that. So these are 3 new minis, and they are for sale. I don't have my Etsy shop open anymore. The farmer's market is closed for the summer, or closed for the winter, I should say. We don't reopen until May. So I'm still making journals. I'm going to stockpile them. And if I feel like I have enough, I will have them at market and maybe have some listed in my Etsy shop too. But in the meantime, these are for sale. Like these I'm selling for, I think, $30. This one had more in it, so probably $45. This one was sort of in between, so maybe $40 on this one. So, you know, they are for sale. And I also have a bunch of others too. So if you're interested in them, just ask about it in a comment, and feel free to comment. And I always welcome suggestions and feedback. And have a great week, and talk to you later.